Over the past couple of months, I've spent in total £162.90 on the Manchester United home shirt and of course the beautiful green and white Man United away shirt. That's with my membership discounts and only for the replica fans versions. Now if I'd have bought the authentic versions, the player versions, I'd have spent another £50 or £60 more. Now that's cool, I'm a grown ass bloke and it was my decision to spend that money. However, I couldn't help but think about all those poor parents who feel slightly pressured by their kids to part with their hard earned money. For many working class families in 2023, £162.90 is a lot of money. But apparently there's some dads around there, maybe some mums as well, who have found a way around this. Now many of you will already know there's loads of places out there where you can pick up fake versions of football shirts. All you need to do is just have a quick browse on eBay. Of all the places out there, the most common one mentioned to me is a place called DHgate. Now I'd never been on there before, let alone purchased anything off there. Until now. I thought to myself, do I really want to spend another £80+ on the Manchester United third shirt? No. I was sceptical, I'm not going to lie, because I've had some bad experiences buying fake football shirts. Just take a look at this Manchester United Cantona shirt. Just take a look at this absolute monstrosity. This is after one bloody wash. The printing is knackered. There was the Umbro logo on there, it's gone. Luckily, this is the kind of effect of the shirt and it blends in alright. But I thought to myself, maybe this is a one-off, because as we know as kids, our parents were always wrecking the printing on our kits as kids. So I bought another. This Paul Gascoigne Lazio top looks great from behind, but have a look at this. That legendary sponsor, Banco, Santo, Spirito. No, I've got a Bano, Santo, Spirito. Where's the bloody C? I don't know. So ladies and gents, is DHgate just like all the other fake football shirt shops out there? Or is this one better? I know it's got a bit of a loyal following, so let's crack this open right now and let's take a bloody look. Not only are we going to review it right now though, I think it's only fair that if we're to review a fake football shirt, we need to give it at least one wash. So I'm going to wash this and then I'm going to get back to you at the end of the video to see if it's still intact or it is indeed knackered like those other shirts. Let's go. Oosh. So, even though I get really frustrated with him, I've gone with Bruno Fernandes on the printing on the back. So we get to review that too. Voila. So the first thing I noticed with this shirt, as I'm sure it's the same with the legitimate Manchester United shirt, third shirt should I say, it's a bit of an off-white, it's a bit of a creamy white. I'm not sure if that's a thing with the fakes, or if it's actually the colour. On telly it does look a little bit more white, but this is beautiful. Feeling this shirt right here, it doesn't feel cheap, it does feel authentic. Again, pinch of salt. So obviously on DHgate you get a choice between whether you want to buy the replica, the ones I did for the home and away, the fans version should I say, or whether you want the authentic, the player version. I obviously went with the authentic because the price is the same. Why would you choose the fan version? I'm happy to be a tight ass when it comes to parting with 80 to 100 quid, but I'm not willing to... Oh, look at it. It actually looks quite small. So I've ordered this in extra large, as you can see on here. If you look at the detailing within the collar, you've got that, is it a Lancashire rose? It's basically the rose that's been used on the home. If we just go and get the home, 2 secs, we can do a slight comparison. So ladies and gents, here we have the real fan version of the away, the real fan version of the home, and the fake yet authentic player version of the third. Now if we firstly look at the tags are very, very similar to the real ones you'll get, but it does feel different in terms of material. Not that we're going to be bothered by how the tag looks, but I kept a legitimate tag just so you could see what they look like next to the fake tag. So there we go. Fake tag on the left, real tag on the right. They've tried to make them somewhat similar, but again the tag is going to come straight off for me. I'm not one of those collectors that keeps the tags on football shirts, so for me, who cares? If we go back to that rose, over there. Feels like stuck on, feels like, yeah, printed on. There's nothing kind of cheap feeling about it. Just as over here, it feels pretty much the same. I know we're comparing a fan version with an authentic version, but very, very similar so far. If you look at the Adidas sizing, you might have noticed that I've gone for large in the legitimate ones, large over here as well. And my reasoning for going with an XL on this is just my past experience with fake kits. They fit very, very tight. For me, as we head over here, please excuse my dogs, being good boys, flat out. Most of my shirts are legit. This grey away is a fake. This is a large, and my experience with 90s football kits, the legitimate 90s football kits, such as for example my Hereford United one, 90s kits, as we all know, fit very, very baggy, but the fake ones don't. They fit more of a modern fit. They fit very, very tight, and me with a bit of a belly, here's a Juve fake one as well, fits quite tight. But then we've got all my legit ones behind, a legit Hereford one. The fit is very, very different on fakes than it is with legitimate kits. So for that reason, I've gone with the XL. And if you look from the bottom to the top, I've got them somewhat side by side. And the XL, if you just pull that down a little bit, the tops are about level. They are pretty much the same size. So if you are going to buy a fake kit, whether that's on DHgate or any other website, I strongly advise that you buy one size up than you normally would. So I'm guessing, judging from looking at this, yeah, I'm guessing it's going to fit alright. But again, let me know in the comments below. I've got the fan version, the replica version. Does the legitimate, authentic player version fit differently? I don't know, again, because I'm a bit of a tight ass and I only go for fan versions normally. So, very impressed by the front. You can see the detailing. You've got the sleeve sponsor here, printed on exactly the same as on my home one over here. Exactly the same style of printing. Obviously, the main differences being that the fan versions have this embroidered on, like as a piece sewn on, whereas the player versions always have it printed on, as you can see right here. So, for that reason, I mean, it does feel fairly good quality. I can't see that coming off as, you know, some of my other shirts have peeled off. This again, like heat pressed on, that's what you're gonna get, that style of printed on badge and Adidas logo on a legitimate one. So don't think that the legitimate player versions have it, you know, embroidered on. They don't. This is purely for the fan versions. And obviously the team viewer printed on, as is the home. I know this has come under a lot of criticism, the fan version of the away. If you're going to get the away shirt, I probably advise you to get the authentic one, even though it is ridiculously expensive, because obviously the fan version has it printed on in a block. That doesn't bother me. I'm not really like OCD like that, so that really doesn't bother me at all, but I know for some fans it really does. So if that kit couldn't get any more controversial, it has through the printed on team viewer. So there we go, there's the third shirt. I'm thoroughly impressed by it so far. Let's flip it over and have a closer look at the Bruno Fernandes printing. My mates are going to be quite surprised with this printing, because I'm always slagging Bruno off, and I know a lot of you United fans are going to go nuts at me. How can you slag off our captain? I'm not slagging him off, he just winds me up because he's so... I can see why opposing fans get wound up by Bruno, but I am going to stay behind him. He's our captain. As of filming this video, he got an assist and a goal, got us out of trouble against Nottingham Forest. So I thought, you know what? Rather than moan about his attitude and stuff, I'm going to stick with my captain, get behind him, and get him printed on this shirt. So you've got the official, again, wink wink, Premier League printing. I've not got these printed yet because I like to get them printed at Old Trafford, and I've not yet been up to Old Trafford. But if we compare this printing here, which is the same as it will be this year, but I've got last year's here with Casemiro on the back. If you can see the 8 from the 18 with Casemiro with the Premier League logo there, very similar to the 8 on the away with the Premier League logo. So very impressed with the printing. Again, we've not washed this yet, so... Right then guys, I think it's time for a little less conversation, a little more action. I've been impressed by this so far, but it's only right that I put it on, do a bit of a cheesy little catwalk in this shirt so you can see how it fits. I'm 6 foot tall, I weigh about 14.5 stone. I don't know what that is in kilograms or pounds, but I'm kind of a typical slightly chubby beer belly bloke. I'm 34 as well, so that just gives you an idea. Let's just see how this fits. Right then guys, I'm very glad I went with the XL size. It's quite snug, it does fit me quite nicely, but being white, obviously it will show your belly, so obviously be mindful of that. Again, if you could help me out in the comments below, I don't generally buy authentic player version shirts, so I'm not sure of the difference between the fan and the player versions. I've heard they do fit a little bit more snug, a little bit tighter. I can imagine though, it's ironic because we're in my home gym setup. I never use it, you can probably tell by all the dust on the equipment. But for those gym goers, I can imagine this being lovely, fitting very nicely on the sleeve. It's white. If you're a young single lad and you're off for a couple of drinks, get the shirt on. It is very, very nice. And for those with a nice physique, I'm sure it would be great. I've not really got one of those physiques, but I'm really impressed by the feel. It fits legit. There's no kind of feeling of fakery. Like when I put this on, even though it's nice and it is very similar to what the grey kit was back in the 90s, you can tell it's not a legitimate kit. There's just a slight different feel. I've got the laces, Man United one from like the first season we won the Premier League, or the first Premier League season. That is an original legitimate shirt and it fits very, very differently. This, really impressed. I like the little Man United badge up here. It's nice. Again, feels like it's done properly. I did notice as well when I put it on, there's a little heat ready badge here. There was a little bit of like clear plastic over the top of it, which I pulled off, which I'm guessing is what they put on top when they actually print it onto the shirts. They probably forgot to take that off. No worries. I mean, those little fine details are nice, because if we're buying a fake shirt, this cost me £11 and it's got all those intricate little details. You can probably tell as well if I go up close. You've got this kind of like zigzaggy detailing, stuff that you don't see when you look at, you know, pictures online or watch them actually play matches. I know the Spurs shirt's like that, it just looks like a plain white shirt, but if you look at the new Spurs shirt, it's really detailed. And this away kit is exactly the same. I'm really impressed by it. I like the little cuffs around here as well. So long story short, so far, before I do a little bit of a wash, I'm absolutely loving this. I mean, it does fit quite snug, but for me it's just motivation to lay off the biscuits, lay off the lager and stuff. So full marks so far. DHgate has done a really good job on this, and for £11 I've basically saved 100 quid. I think they go for like 110 quid before membership discounts, so you can't argue with that. And again, for those Man United fans that don't want to put money into the Glazers' pockets, there you go, you're supporting your club, but also getting a little knockoff shirt that you're not kind of putting in the Glazers' pockets as well. So there we go. Let's wash this bloody shirt, and I'll see you tomorrow for an honest, full rating of this bloody shirt. See you tomorrow. Right then guys, so it is a little bit creased, so apologies for that. I actually don't iron anything, but as you can see, still intact, the printing. I am looking at the top of the devil and I'm paranoid that it will start to fray. I did wash this on a low temperature. I say I did, my missus did, and it's sort of still slightly damp, but it is pretty much dry. But yeah, all the printing on here looks fine. No issues so far. There's that heat ready sign I was on about. Fine on the front. Let's just have a little spin round. And Bruno's still intact as well. So let me just do a close-up of the letters. All looks fine to me. What I probably would suggest when you're washing these shirts, even the real shirts, is just to maybe wash them in the sink with warm water. Maybe a little bit of washing up liquid. I'm sure there's people that can give better advice than I can. But if you are paranoid, as I am, because it happens with real shirts as well. I showed you that Ole Solskjaer printing. We all remember back in the day, our parents, especially when they had the foamy printing, our parents used to just completely annihilate our legitimate shirts. And look at that Solskjaer printing. If you can see it, it's all bobbly. Look at the state of that. And that's a legitimate shirt, so obviously the fake ones you're going to probably be extra cautious with. But there we go, moral of the story, £11, cannot go wrong with that. Really, I'm actually a bit worried now, because all I'm going to do is probably buy these DHgate versions. What's the point of spending an extra £100 or so for a real version? Well, let's be honest, they change kits every year. It's hard to keep up with. I don't know how working class families do it with kids and stuff. I can see now why everyone is switching to DHgate versions. If you enjoyed the video, guys, stick the thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below what more videos you want to see on the channel. Obviously, we do all kinds of videos, not just Man United videos, not just shirt reviews. I've had a delivery of... I had this little delivery over here of some Euro 96 stuff, all packaged away. We've got unopened buttons, whatever those are, supporter stems. I've got some bunting in there as well. We got, I think, programs, all kinds of quirky stuff. Some of them never opened before. That's going to be interesting to do a little unboxing. If you're new to the channel, I've got a bit of a thing for Corinthians as well. We're trying to collect every single one of the original 95 to 98 Corinthian headliners. That's been kind of put on hold only because I'm running out of space. Everything's boxed. I've just got boxes and boxes of Corinthians just sat there doing nothing. And even though I've given you a bit of a teaser of my little man cave, my football paradise as I like to call it, we're going to do a proper tour of Roy's football paradise as well, so stay tuned for that one. Thanks for watching, see you soon.